We're living in a land down under.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's start this. Hi, everyone. This is issue 2 of Two Mates on the Podcast with myself, Lee, and my best friend, Matt.
Yo, what's going on, everyone, man?
Yeah, so this is issue 2. We've made it to number 2.
Glad to be here, man.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Again, we're just doing this for fun, just taking it, we're not taking it serious. We're just going with the wind. And to me, it's very therapeutic, especially during the whole kind of like coronavirus.
Also, before we
Going
start
on.
as well, is the mic okay? Because I was just a bit conscious that my mic was a bit poppy in the other one.
Do it is there with this year. I think the mic, like you sound fine, like Chris, you sound fine, but
Okay.
you never know really until like I play it back, and we're recording a Zoom in it, so like I'm recording off my laptop. I don't have like the mic thing set up, so
Yeah.
until then, I think it's just
Mm.
like again, like this is just for fun, like it's just for practice, whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that deep of a thing to worry about or whatever. But I do want to invest in like a proper mic at some point
All
to
right,
do
cool,
these
cool,
things.
cool. Yeah, man, I can actually come up with a kit list. I think there's some good kit out there that we can get whoever to kind of even if we weren't doing this, but we were doing something for someone else, like a client or something,
Yeah,
we can get some good kit that we can do podcasts with and stuff. So yeah,
100%,
man.
100%.
It's a really tricky time for the film industry. I mean, I did hear, yeah, that from an industry expert that the cinemas won't really fully recover. It won't resemble what we know cinemas to be for potentially 5 years.
Oh my
That's
days.
mad. Are you telling me we are going to have staggered film times for 5 years? That's crazy, man. If that's the case, that's crazy.
I don't know how I feel about this, man. I don't want to sound selfish, yeah, but like I would have rather this like years ago, not now.
Years ago.
Yeah, I would have rather like if you're gonna close out, I would have rather like cinemas closed because like when you're yeah, well, when I was young or whatever, I'm running around the place. I'm not really thinking about cinemas too deeply like that. I mean,
Right,
I was
right,
always
right,
going to the
right, right, right,
cinemas,
right.
but if the cinema closed, I wouldn't think like it's the be all or end all. I mean, it's not now, but
Mm.
I enjoy going to the cinemas, especially now. Like that's one of my like down times. Like I enjoy like just like going to the cinema, even by myself. Like say what you will, like even going to cinema by myself. Like for me, that's so therapeutic. And then now you don't get that.
You don't get it. It's, I mean, cinema going and film watching is ritualistic for me. Like I honestly, hand on heart, I would go to cinema maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, depending on what's on. 2 times a week is regular, is minimum, depending on what's on.
Mm.
And then if we're talking summer and maybe winter, where they've got the bigger films out, I'm in there maybe 3, 4 times a week. Do you know what I mean? So it's a big
Yeah,
part of my life, man. And having that disappear at the start of the year was tough. Not gonna lie, it was tough. We had Netflix, we had all of these, we had Disney Plus come, so it was softened. The blow was softened a little. We got the cinemas back. Now they're closed again or reduced.
yeah.
And actually, that's a shame, man, because that's a big part of my life. That's a big part of my life as work is or as sleep is. Do you know what I mean? Like or eating. That's a big part of my life. Going to cinema is a big part of my life, and having that gone is tragic. And actually, the long lasting effects that's going to have on the cinema industry, that's a
Yeah,
damn
that's bad.
shame, man.
You never know how important something is until it's gone. And
Until it's
then
gone.
slowly it just feels like, movies, the cinemas, we're just losing it from our grasp and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Like I feel like there was a time when not much people were going to the cinemas. But then like for the past couple of years, a lot of people have been, it's a place for escapism. It's something different from watching a film on your TV screen. No matter how big your TV screen is, you're never gonna get the same feeling as into like when you go to the cinemas and watch a movie. For most, I can't say for
Definitely.
everybody, but for me, going to the cinema, sitting down with my condiments, whatever, look at the new trailers, making a list like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see that trailer. I can't wait to see that film for that trailer. And then when you get that certificate rating and you go straight into the film, it's totally
Mm.
different from when you're at home watching a movie. For the people that like for Cineworld at the moment that are not working. I really feel for them.
100%. It's a lot of
Yeah.
jobs. It's a lot of jobs. Are at risk, and hopefully the furlough plan here. We've got something in the UK called the furlough plan, which is the government's help that helps unemployment people.
Mm.
It's just a support network. Hopefully that will kick in and help a lot of people. And your sentiment about the cinema, man, is one that I share definitely. I mean, the biggest event of last year culturally, by far, doesn't matter whether you're into films or whether you're not into films. The biggest event of last year was Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where do people watch that? At the cinema. Biggest event. Now, how different would have that the moment when Cap caught Milner in his hand? How different would that have been if that was just you in your underwear at home by yourself? I mean, it still would have been cool, but it did not. It won't live up to the energy. People screaming in the cinema, seeing that, all united by this one event. It's just unmatchable. Cinemas, man, come on, man. They're a big, big part of this culture. It's a big part of people's lives. I hope it recovers. I hope it recovers.
Cinema is like for me, it's like when you get like your Facebook communities and all that kind of stuff. It's a place to go and experience something from different people from all different walks of life. Like, when you spoke about, when that end game reaction was caught with Captain America fighting Thanos, just a sheer joy of, watching people, cheer on. Those are moments you're never going to get again for a very long time.
That's unbeatable. Those are unbeatable moments. I mean, that rarely happens at the cinema. That
Mm.
rarely happens where you just kind of just in shock and awe, and you are all united, and the cinema's packed, and everyone's sort of united in this moment unfolding on screen. That is very rare. That's happened in Endgame. Where else has that happened? Maybe Infinity War as well. Um, but it's rare. That's rare that happens. I mean, it might be happening in Dark Knight, maybe. The Dark Knight Rises, but it's rare that happens. And when it does, it's a special moment. And from the sounds of things, it sounds like we won't get a moment like that for at least another 5 years. So, listen, let's watch in space. Let's hope the cinemas recover. And that's not just to say the cinema. That's not just to say the film industry. That's to say the theatre industry, the entertainment industry, the arts industry at large, music, film. All of those things, they are at risk of really, really suffering at the effects of this virus. So once things can go back to normal, once things are safe, once things are importantly, they're safe, we've got to go out and support the industries, the art industries.
Arts is important. Arts is full of, creativity. And right now, creativity, I feel like is being uh, put on hold right now. I mean, talking about cinemas, a lot of films have been delayed. You said in the last podcast, if James Bond gets
Yes,
delayed,
man.
you're going to be upset. How do you feel? Take it away, man.
Oh gosh. Like I said, when I said that, I kind of saw it coming, but didn't want to believe it. If you get what I'm saying, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to think it into existence because I need to see that film, man. That this new director looks like he's taken Bond in a different direction, and it looks interesting. In terms of this Bond, this Daniel Craig's Bond, and it looks interesting, and it's his last outing. So I'm anticipating this film, man. I'm just want this film to come out, man. But maybe it's the best thing to do to get its money. Obviously, from a business standpoint, it makes sense. But I didn't see that film, man. I'm gutted, absolutely gutted. But what can I say? I did see it coming, so I'm not that surprised. But when I heard the news break, um, I was upset, man. And it looks like, and as a result of that, a lot of these cinemas were banking on that film bringing in people. Um, but apparently, because Tenant didn't do as well as they anticipated, don't get me wrong, that film did well, I think, but I think they wanted it to do this much and it did this much. They just thought that delaying it was the best thing to do, man. So I understand it from a business point of view. We've got to wait it out. We've got to see what happens by next year. Gutted though, man. Gutted. I just had to watch all three films. No, it's four films. All four Bond films over and over again until April.
I will say this:
Gutted.
with all the films being delayed, there's going to be a slew of films coming out next year. I'm hoping. I'm hoping this lockdown. If we got to go through this year, like the rest of the year through lockdown, fine. But I'm hoping next year is totally fine. Like there's no lockdown because the amount of films that's supposed to be coming out next year, it's going to be crazy.
I can see a lot of the I can see a lot of the big films at the start of the year being delayed till the latter part of the year for sure.
100%.
What I think
I
is
think January
absolute,
is going to be a quiet. January, February. I think they're always like mostly the quiet months.
yeah, yeah. I'm actually worried about December this year. December is a big year for films. Boxing Day, is a big sort of like release date for those sort of like seasonal movies. I'll be interested to see some of the films that are scheduled for that date. What's going to happen because it's Christmas. People are at home anyway. And if the lockdown and the predictions are to be believed, we're going to be locked in Christmas anyway. So there's a few films coming out in December, and I just hope they don't get delayed. But I can imagine they will, man. I can imagine they will.
Warner Brothers have said that Wonder Woman is in no way are they even planning on bringing that to a streaming service. God forbid, touch wood, that this coronavirus thing gets worse. As a company, do you not think what are our other options? Like, what's the contingency plan if cinemas no longer works for us because we're losing money and the only money that we have is in these streaming services? What happens to the films that we've made? Because if Black Widow comes out, I say Wonder Woman, but we still got coronavirus or whatever, we don't want it where it comes out in the cinemas and then two weeks later we got to go back into isolation. The cinemas got to close back down. That means you're losing money. But then you've got a streaming service that you're sitting on.
Tell you what it is. I think I can maybe suss it out, or kind of look into the mind of the studio. So you have to look at Mulan, right? So Disney was banking on Mulan for being a huge success, and even when the trailers came out, and even amidst the sort of early controversies, it was still kind of pegged to be quite a big blockbuster. I think they were predicting a lot of money coming in. Coronavirus happened. No one can go to the cinemas. They dropped it on Disney Plus. Along with a price tag no one wanted to pay, it gained more controversy. And even after it had been released, I don't think it did that well. So studios are looking at that and thinking that's a bit of a failure. You think you're putting all of that money into a film to put it on a streaming service that everyone's hyped about, yet the film is still flopping. So I feel like that these studios don't know enough about big blockbuster films on streaming services. So I remember there was a point when Netflix was pretty much broke. It had like billions or millions maybe of debt, and it had all these properties that were just sitting there, and it was just basically losing money.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to lose money. I've lost money. That is not a nice feeling, and I'm not a big studio. I'm talking about maybe £10 I've lost. Imagine losing £1 million. Imagine losing £2 million. That's a lot of money. No one wants to lose that money. So it's a fear thing. I think we've got these big films. Let's hold off on them for a minute because we don't know what's going to happen next year. Let's hold off and wait and see what happens. Test out the studio. And actually, if lockdown continues, we'll have to have a contingency where we do put it on the studio, on the streaming service, sorry. And we have to think about maybe floating our marketing budget so that we get eyes on screens when it comes out. So I think it's a bit of a fear thing. I think that's why they want to put it on there. They've already got a list of content. HBO, this is because DC or Wonder Woman is on HBO Max, right? Or is that, oh, am I wrong?
Yeah, they got Green Lantern coming on HBO Max and
Green
a couple
Lantern.
of others. Like Harley
So they've
Quinn.
got some banging shows coming out. They got some banging shows that will keep us entertained for the whole of 2021. Why not wait it out and see what happens? Do you know what I mean? I think that's where they're coming from. Wonder Woman's a big film. It's got a big budget. It's meant to be experienced on the big screen. Flipping bums on seats in the cinemas makes a lot of money for the film industry.
I'll
So
tell you
why
one
not
thing.
wait it out?
If one of these films like Black Widow or if the studio gives in God forbid, and one of these songs like Black Widow or Wonder Woman gets released on these streaming services, that's it. The landscape changed forever.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's it. Do you want to be responsible for the death of the cinema? I mean, Universal already, I mean, they've already got the laser pointed at the cinema's head and are
Mhm.
ready to pull the trigger. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, this can affect cult. This can the amount, the pure size, the monumental shift culturally. If they start putting these films on streaming services, it's over. But that being said, VHS was once, the pinnacle of entertainment. Watching movies at home, then the DVD came along, then Netflix came along, destroyed all of those. It could be said that this is the next step in the evolution of entertainment. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that the idea and the concept of cinema gets whittled down into this sort of small cultural niche thing that only a small gathering of people go to. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm.
and enjoy to for nostalgic purposes. But everything is geared and shifted to watching things at home and doing things at home, especially in the midst of a bloody pandemic like the one we're in right now. So who knows? I have an open mind about it. I mean, I'm excited about the entertainment industry and the streaming services, but at the same time, I love the cinema, so I don't like rob for me either. Um, but if Black Widow was to go on Disney Plus, that would not flop at all. That would make them that no that would triple the budget would the box office would triple for that. It would not flop at all.
But then that would be like Mickey Mouse waving goodbye to the cinemas, and that would be the sad thing.
That would be a sad thing for us, and maybe some people, some diehard Puritans in the movie industry. But at the end of the day, these studios value money above all else. They don't care whether the cinema dies or whatever. As long as they've got money, they will do it. Do you know what I'm saying? If it means death in the cinema, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And they've already killed so many childhood franchises for the sake of money. What is the death of the cinema screen gonna do? Do you know what I mean? To them, they've killed Indiana Jones. They've murdered Star Wars. Yeah, they've done all these things for the sake of money.
Yeah.
I can see them killing cinema off for money as well. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. Trust me. Um,
But yeah, it'll be. But don't get me wrong, I would be gutted if the cinema died because it's such a I have such a connection with it. So
yeah, I hope it never comes to that. I mean, it has been that's like a historical thing, like
yeah,
older than a lot of us. So hopefully, that doesn't change. There are some things that historic. Like, I understand that the world is always evolving and new technology, the way we consume things. We consume things in new ways every 5, 10 years or whatever. But I feel like there's some things that you just need to keep the same, and some of them are like, the cinemas and stuff like that. Sometimes there's something you just got to leave it alone, but at the same time, it's hard to say
mm.
you got to leave something alone when
it's hard, yes,
financially things are changing all the time, and
and not even financially, technologically. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Technologically, things are evolving. So that just means that things that are old and that are analog and that are vintage are just gonna die.
hundred
VHS
percent.
died because of the same reason. DVDs died for
Oh,
the same reason.
Wonder Woman's coming out 2020 December.
Yeah, I thought it was December.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's quite this. Oh, so okay, so we got Wonder. Okay, that's what we got. That's what I'm seeing.
But
Wonder
I'm saying
Woman.
that will get pushed. 100% that will get pushed.
Yeah, we got Wonder Woman this December. We got Morbius. Oh my god, I forgot about Morbius. That's next year, March. We got
Oh yeah,
Venom
March.
in June next year. Black Widow's May next year. Shang-Chi, that's July next year. Suicide Squad, that's in August next year. The Eternals, that's November next year. And Spider-Man 3, that'll be next year, December.
I'd say everything from August is maybe safe. Everything from before that, I think there's a danger of it getting pushed.
Yeah, December for Wonder Woman, that's looking a bit iffy. Like,
That ain't happening, bro. December, no one's going to cinema in December. I'm sorry, not in the UK anyway.
mm,
So
that's a bit of Russian roulette right there.
yeah, man. Yeah, I was sure it was December. When was it supposed to come out? Like October this month,
I
maybe?
think so. There's so many films like Black Widow. We're supposed to have seen that time ago.
What I think is hilarious is out of all of the films that have been delayed this year, the most delayed film, I think, in history, New Mutants, managed to make it to the cinemas this year in the middle of a pandemic. How hilarious
Oh,
is that?
yeah, coming out on Blu-ray next month.
Absolutely hilarious. Our film got delayed and delayed and delayed, and it comes out in the middle of the pandemic when every film is delayed. Hilarious.
Yeah, that's coming out next month on Blu-ray. Have you been watching The Boys?
Do you know what? I only got up to episode 2,
Oh, what, season 1?
season 2.
Oh, I got, yeah, okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, episode 1 of season 2 is pretty sort of straightforward. It's kind of sort of like cock teasing around some of the unanswered questions of season 1.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then you kind of get like a big reveal and a few new more questions kind of peeking. So it's a very textbook episode 1 for season 2. But I haven't watched enough of it to kind of really give you an opinion on it, to be honest. But hopefully by the next time we do the third episode, I would have seen enough of it to
Yeah. Let me know if you think I'll talk about that.
to give you. Have you finished it, or is it
Yeah,
finished?
I finished it. Yeah, I finished it yesterday.
Is the show finished now?
Nah, because there's a lot more. Like, so I think this
No,
season is finished.
as in, is this season 2 finished?
Yeah, I think season 2 is finished.
And you watched them all, yeah?
Yeah, I watched them all.
Good, better than the first one.
At first, you know what it is with me.
But when you're saying
No, don't take it because don't it's with me. Yeah, when I watch a season, yeah, I'm such in a hype moment for it or whatever because I'm like, so when I finish the season, I'm like, when the next season comes by, I'm not as hyped as I was. Like the hype goes down. So when I was watching it from season 1 to 5, I was like, oh yeah, this is interesting. But I'm not getting the feeling as I was when I was watching the first season. But that's not to say that it wasn't good. But then after episode 5, I was tuned in.
Okay.
I was ringing my sister like, "Oh my days, did you see this? Did you see that?"
Okay.
Like
that's good then.
And then I think because I know like the comics, I know where it's going. It gets me even more excited because when I was watching it from season 1 to season 5, I wasn't really thinking about the comics or whatever, which is good because if I could watch something and you're not making me think much about the source material, then I'm taking you as you are, which is good.
Yeah.
But when I got to season 5, I was like, oh yeah, wait, this happens. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I'm invested now, but I'm fully invested. So
for me, that happens when you watch a season and the second season comes out and it's just like, oh. And this might be controversial, but Stranger Things, I don't fuck with it, man.
Yeah, I think that's died down, man.
Season 1 was top. Oh, this is original. It's influential. It's like, it's been influenced by the films of Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg, and it's the 80s and all that stuff. It's great to watch. Season 2 was literally a carbon copy of season 1. Just they were just older. Season 3, I could have taken a leave in that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just did not really fill me with any.
Stranger Things reminded me of my days. What was that show with Mark Wahlberg? True Detective. So True Detective season 1 was amazing. Yeah. Season 2, I felt like the director fell in love with himself too much. That season 2 for me was painfully awkward to watch. And that's how I felt about Stranger Things. When Stranger Things,
yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel like because they came so overloved with the hype of the fans and all that kind of stuff. It's like I was like, what am I? There's nothing new I'm watching here. This is
Yeah,
totally
nothing
like
new.
you're basically just copy and pasting yourself. Like what? Yeah, I wasn't fully invested in it.
Do you know what I thought? I thought about Umbrella Academy season 2, bro. I said it, man. I said it. Oh my
Wait,
god.
oh my lord, are you
Oh my
serious?
god. Yeah, man. I
Jeez,
mean, they did
oh
a few. They did a few. I think I really liked the story. What's the girl called? The black girl, who's got the power who can say, "I heard a rumor."
oh god,
Her,
what
I
is
thought the story was cool. I thought it was interesting. I quite liked that. I quite like the dilemma between sort of, leaving her husband in that world. Was it her husband?
yeah.
I quite like that story. Don't get me wrong, I like that a lot. Big guy Luther didn't do much in it. I did like this whole sort of JFK story. I thought it was a bit,
You didn't like it?
nah, man. It's just a bit. It's a bit.
Her name's
Ugh.
Alison. Her name's Alison.
Alison, that's it. I liked her. Uh, what's the Vanya? I felt like we were
Vanya does
sort of,
my head in. Oh my
yeah, man. We're just
god.
treading old ground with her, to be honest. Um, and then the ending. I mean, the ending was just like, okay, here we go again. I thought that was interesting. Actually, that's when I actually was like, oh, okay. Hmm. But I thought, we're starting again. So you're basically saying that the whole of season 2 didn't really need to happen. Um, so yeah, when it comes to season 2s of things, they gotta go hard, man. They just gotta blow me away, bruv.
Mm.
I can't tell you. I'm trying to think of a name of a show that did that for me. Hmm. But I just kept going back for more.
Um,
Ozark's pretty good. Ozark.
I need to watch Ozark. Yeah, I'm gonna watch season 1 just so I can jump straight into season 2.
Yeah, man. Season 2 is way better. It's no, not way better, but it's just as good as season 2. Season 3 was okay, but I'm excited for the prospects of season 4, and that's what a show should do. I mean, if it's got a bit of a low series, it should get me ready for the next one. And we just think, yeah, man, shit's about to pop off in the next one. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shows out there that I just don't really fuck with right now.
Guess who made Umbrella Academy? Guess who created that?
Who made it, man?
Uh, Gerald Arthurway. He's the lead guitarist. I mean, the lead vocalist. Sorry for My Chemical Romance.
Right. Nice, nice.
Yeah, he writes comics now. That's his thing now.
Sick.
Uh, bruv, I'm so upset. Yeah, I went to Curry's the other day and I
Right.
saw flipping the PS5 is sold out. I was so heartbroken.
Oh shit. When's that even coming out?
November the 16th or 18th, something like that.
So how can we get this then?
How can you get it?
Yeah.
Well, right now it's sold out. So I'm guessing around like after it's released, obviously they'll probably come like more come in stock. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just heartbroken.
Boy.
The new Xbox. Obviously, I'm not gonna get Xbox, but I was so banked on the PS5 when I
Yeah.
saw
I
that.
mean, I'm not used. Yeah, go on.
When I saw that was sold out, I was like, nah, I
People on it.
need a PS5 for Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's gonna be the thing. I mean, I'm not usually a person that gets a console like as soon as it comes out. I mean, I didn't get a PlayStation 4 until like last year. So yeah, I'm not a big like jumping on things straight away, but I was keen to get this straight away, to be honest, just to kind of be on the curve for once. But yeah, that's a bit annoying.
I need the PS5. I
Have you
need.
have you heard of this Star Wars Squadrons?
Yeah, I've been looking at that for a while. Wait,
I've
hold
been
on a
looking at
second.
it for
First
a
of all,
while
yeah,
now.
the game is like what, £34 or something like that.
Yeah, I think I saw it for £30.
Where?
I thought it was for £30 on like game or something.
That might be me, because
I'm thinking
I've
about
heard
it.
good things about the game.
I thought some good things about the game. It's getting me
Yeah.
really interested. I just don't know if I want to spend £30 on it though.
Um,
Yeah,
30,
£30 is not a lot,
the amount of
but
times that I've spent, what do you call it? £50 or something. I know 30, even though like £30 is something. Like, don't get twisted. £30 is not nothing. That is something. But usually games are like 50, £60.
Yeah, if we're talking about games,
Mm,
£30 is on the low end.
Well, I see Call of Duty for all £70 or some nonsense like that.
Oh,
And I've seen Star Wars for 30. I'm like, okay.
but I might have to get Call of Duty. That's coming out soon, isn't it?
Yeah. That's coming out. I think that's coming out. Where's that coming out?
You
I
know
don't know,
what,
but if I
bro?
get Call of Duty, I don't want to get.
I'm
I
gonna get
definitely
it.
want to get on the PS5. I don't want to get on the PS4.
Ah, so you want to get on the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, bro.
Ah,
PlayStation 5 for
shit.
me is Call of Duty,
Yeah.
Spiderman the game, and what do you call it? What's the other one that's coming out? Final Fantasy. I'm a Final Fantasy head, and that's all. I think that's all the games
Yeah.
that actually like.
Here's a
I'm a
question.
big-
Can you play Spider-Man on PlayStation 4? No.
Nah, you can't. What they've done is that
Oh,
so Spider. So there's a Spider. There's going to be a Spider-Man. So sorry, you can get the new Spider-Man game with Miles Morales. You can get that for PS4 or PS5. For PS5, they are re-releasing the Spider-Man game that we have.
oh yeah.
So, but I don't think your save data will transfer to the PS5. So you have to start it fresh. They've even
Mm.
remastered Peter Parker's face to like Tom.
Yeah. Don't even look like him now.
It kind of it looks a little bit like him.
I can see what they were trying to do, but
But
I
I don't
don't
get.
know
I
nothing
I
like
don't get
him.
it. Why though? Why?
I mean, if I'm honest, when I was playing the game the first time, I was like, why didn't they just make it Tom Holland? I was just like, just
Mm.
do it. Like, just great opportunity. Just tie it in.
But if
It's
you
just
do that,
it's
yeah, do you
it's
not have
cool.
to pay like what do you call it?
Pay the money, man.
Pay the rights for his face to use his face or
Just
whatever.
pay the fucking money, bro. You got money. Just pay it. I mean, that's probably why they made it look like him a little bit because they didn't want to pay all of it. It was like we'll pay 20% for 20% of Tom Holland's face.
Bro, do you
I
know what
don't
cracks
think it
me
looks
up?
like him.
Do you know what cracks me up? Yeah, flipping. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out, they made Star Lord in the comics look like what do you call it? Chris Pratt's
Oh,
version,
oh
bro.
yeah,
If you look at him, if you look at Star Lord now, looks like the man's got blonde hair and all sorts.
yeah,
They didn't want nothing. They didn't want him to look like nothing like the movie character. I think
yeah,
you got to pay for rights to use someone's face. I don't know how. I'm thinking that's why they changed him completely.
yeah. Maybe it's got something to do with the contracts they do, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like they obviously Chris Pratt signed a contract to appear in films and his likeness or something. I don't know,
yeah. I said the
but
likeness.
yeah, I can
I had
imagine.
Marvel stingy as well, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Talking of Tom Holland, man, did you watch that film? Tom Holland's Netflix film.
Bro, I finally watched that, boy. Bro, when Robert Pattinson
Wow.
started talking, yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
Do you know what? I was like, doesn't sound right, but actually, he was quite captivating in that, man.
For real, for real, for real.
That was a bang. I have not seen a film like that in a while, and
I liked
I
it.
was, I, it was so good, such a good film. Just how all connected. It was a really good film.
It was like a circle of violence. You're not born violent; it's a learned thing.
Mm.
So seeing Tom Holland, from his father, how that was, and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it was just I thought I had no idea how that was going to end, and
Yeah, yeah, man. It was quite suspenseful, wasn't it?
yeah, no, it was good, man. All the
Great film,
actors,
great film.
yeah, all the actors they did their part in that, man. That was a good film.
Give it a watch if you haven't seen it. Devil all the time. Great film. It was a really good film. I'd say that's a pick for this month for sure.